Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is not evening, it's afternoon. So, good afternoon. Listen, I won't be able to stay long because my battery's about to die. I just left from the store. I was sitting there thinking, this is Sunday, of course. Most people go to church on Sunday. Some people use this day to take care of business. But I was in the store and I went to several stores today. Usually I don't go to stores on Sunday. Sunday just be too busy because everybody's trying to tidy up on their things. And I was sitting. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you all. Very transparent. I was sitting in the parking lot at the store once I got through picking up a few things. Hi, Rubia. Once I got through picking up a few things, I'm very transparent. I come here. I encourage you all. I don't want you all to think, my life is so perfect. I never would want you to think that of me, right? But let me tell you something. I was sitting in the car and I felt a little overwhelmed with things that are transpiring, some things that are happening, in my life. Sometimes when the enemy, can attack you as the chosen one, the enemy will get in these children. The enemy will overwhelm you with these children, right? But let me tell you what you have to do. This is what you do when you feel overwhelmed. When you feel overwhelmed, you get by yourself. Get by yourself in a quiet place and you just give God worship. You just give him praise. You give him honor. You thank him for what you're going through. You thank him for everything you're going through. You put on some worship music and you get to praying and talking and crying out to God and asking him and telling him, not asking, because we got the authority, right? He already given us the authority to start speaking those things that are not. Just, tell him whatever it is that comes to heart, because that overwhelming feeling that you're feeling, that's emotion. You have the power and authority to to bind that emotion. I was sitting in my car, straight up overwhelmed today, overwhelmed thinking about so much, and it's not things per se, but it's how you can see the enemy, how he's trying to move and groove and get into these children, get into your children, right? You have to see that and you have to come against that. That's a spiritual thing. You cannot sit there and you see the enemy operating in your child. You can't sit there and just be quiet. You can't sit there. You don't have to do it in front of them. You don't have to do it in front of them because you don't want them to think you're so spiritual. But as soon as they knock that door, as soon as you get in your quiet place, as soon as you say your prayers before you go to sleep, if you got to drive off, you drive off, and you come against that spirit. You let the enemy know, I see you. I see you, and you will not. I will not sit here and give you authority. However that child is acting, you speak against how he's acting. You speak how she is acting. You call forth how you want them to act, especially if they're not adults, not adult children. Now you can't be trying to control. You still can pray, but you can't be trying to control things with them. Yes, you put on your. That's right, Rubio. You put on your worship songs, and you speak to what's going on in that child. You speak what's going on in yourself. You speak to your emotions. You tell your emotions, I will not bow to you. I will not bow. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I am a warrior. I am successful. I am sane. Yeah, you don't sit there. Have you ever noticed when you sit there and allow your emotions to run rampant, them emotions go to all kind of crazy places. They go to all kind of crazy places. You got to demand. You got to speak. Okay, speak the opposite of how you're feeling. You don't sit there. No, you don't sit there and let your emotions run rampant. You don't sit there and let fear creep up on you. You speak to fear. You let fear know you're not going to run me. I am not fearful. I am powerful. That's why affirmations are so important. And that's why you speaking, right? That's why you speaking to yourself. You speaking the word of God to yourself. You don't sit down and bow down to no emotions. You don't sit and bow down to what somebody is speaking over you that you're going to do this, you're going to be that. You say the devil is a lie. I am strong. I can do it. I am able. I am healthy. I am in my right mind. You don't sit there and bow down and sit down and lay down. No, you get up. You stand up. You speak up. You don't shut up during this time. Because have you ever noticed when you're in that emotional overwhelm, how I felt? I felt that overwhelmed today because I saw something, right? I saw something spiritually, and I felt overwhelmed for that split second. And I had to be reminded who the heck I was. I'm a child of the Most High. I'm the chosen one. The chosen one don't sit down and bow down. They don't. We don't sit down. That's what I want to come tell you all. Cause see, I want y'all to think that I don't go through nothing. I'm just this motivational and encouraging and person and just got. Oh no, chosen ones, you should know better. We experience it. We experience the most stuff as a chosen one. We experience the most double hockey stick. We go through the most pain. We carry the heaviest cross as a chosen one. As a chosen one, we don't have no cakewalk, as they say. We make it look good. Now we come on here. Now we be looking good and smelling good and dressing good. But just don't know. We got to go home and cry and fall on our knees too. Ask God to give me the strength to carry this cross. Oh, we got to do that as a chosen one. How do you think we get through it? We get through it. Okay? We get through it because we know what we got to do. We know what we got to speak. Oh, when I'm released to share certain things, I got to come here and be transparent. I got to be upfront and close and personal. And I have to use wisdom and discretion because, some people use their platforms to bleed all over people. You can't do that. You have to use wisdom. Use wisdom to put certain things down. You need to put that in the book. You don't just bleed and be all too upfront on your platforms with people because you don't know who's watching. You don't know where they are in their walk. So you don't want to be a stumbling block for someone. You got to take this thing serious. But that's what I want to come tell you all. Y'all better speak them affirmations. If you don't know no word, you better study and learn some. But until you learn some word where you can fight back, speak affirmation. Speak opposite of how you feeling. Speak it. Affirmations are important. Affirmations are important. You got to tell yourself something 14 times. I saw this a study. For one negative thing that is said to you, you got to repeat something that's positive 14 times to get that out of your system. You have to override that. You have to tell yourself something different at least 14 times to override the negativity. You have to tell yourself you can do it. It takes work. That's another thing. You have to know it takes work to pull yourself up out of that mindset, that negative mindset, them thoughts bombarding you. You feeling emotionally overwhelmed. It takes work to get yourself up out of that. It takes shutting down everything. It takes stop running to everyone else's rescue and deal with your stuff. That's what it takes for you to get yourself up out of that spirit and that mindset of overwhelm. You do one thing at a time. You can't be there for people this time. You can't be there going to no birthday parties, no dinners, no nothing. This is not the time for that. Thank God for that, Gloria. Thank God for that, my dear. Yes. We're going to need God in this season. One thing I know, if you don't know God, if you don't have no relationship, this is the time to get one. You're going to need him to get through what's about to come and hit this land. You're going to need all the faith you going to need all the faith you can get because there's going to be some unbelief that's going to rise from what's about to hit us. I ain't come here to say all that. I ain't come here to say all that. I don't know what's to come. I just got it. You're going to need God in this season. You're going to need faith. You're going to need trust. You're going to need some word in you. You're going to need it. I'm just letting you know. You're going to need it. I'm going to need it. But speak those things that are not as if they were. That's what the word says. So when you feeling overwhelmed, you feeling down, you feeling scared, you better speak to that mess. That's what it is. It ain't nothing but mess, negative mess. You speak to it. Because whatever you tell yourself, whatever you tell your mind, it's going to believe what you tell it. Whatever you let sit on your mind is going to believe that. This is not the time to sit back and let your thoughts control you. You're supposed to have control over your thoughts and your imagination. You're supposed to. That's why you got to get the word in you so you can have the strength to fight this foolishness. No, because you best believe as a chosen one, no, you're going to go through some mess. You're going to experience some hardships. You're going to have to carry a cross as a chosen one. That's part of your life mission. I'm just letting you know. Everybody want to be chosen. No, real chosen ones, they endure. Real chosen ones have that Job experience, something similar. If you haven't had the Job experience as a chosen one, I doubt if you're a chosen one. Everybody came up against Job. Want you to curse God and just die. They want you to curse God and just give up because you're losing things, you're losing people, kids acting crazy, you're losing your house, you're losing friends, families, people dying off. That's that Job experience. That's going to test to see if you truly believe. Either you're going to believe in them or not, regardless of what's going on. Your belief in him shouldn't be predicated on the things that you have, the things that you keep. That's conditional. Now, that belief got to come when things are being stripped away. Do you still believe him? If it's being taken away, do you still believe him? Do you still trust God? When that account says -0, do you trust him? When it says -0, do you trust him? Just because it says 8 zeros, 9 zeros, do you still trust him? In and out of season, do you trust him? Are you going to believe in him? It's a faith walk. A faith walk. You don't just bow down to no emotions. We bigger than that. We bigger than our emotions, stronger than our emotions. That's where the enemy likes to keep you at. Some of y'all, the chosen ones, that's why I talk about healing. If the enemy can keep you in your emotions, oh, he gonna beat you every time. He gonna mop the floor with you as a chosen one. If he can keep you in your emotions, that's how come some of you stayed in those abusive relationships so long. You were emotional. You saw the truth, but the devil kept you in your emotions. The devil kept you in your emotions. You were emotional. An emotional wreck. You couldn't even pull yourself up out of the abuse. You couldn't pull yourself up out of the mistreatment, the verbal abuse, the slander, the mistreatment. You couldn't pull yourself up out of it because you was emotional. You were stuck in your feelings. Oh, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like getting. I don't feel like leaving. I don't feel like starting over. I don't feel. No. You got to get up out of that. You got to get up. I'm talking to myself too. You got to get up out of that. Them emotions. No, you get up out of them emotions. When it comes to them children, get up out of them emotions. You speak. You speak what you want to see. I don't care how many times you have to speak. I don't care how many times you speak till you see a change. And that's another thing. We can't allow our frustration and our anger have us speaking things over our children because we're mad. Make them look at you like you're crazy, especially them young ones. Make them look at you like you're crazy. When they're going to, limping off and trying to talk back, start saying, no, I see a warrior in you. I see a leader in you. That's what I see. I see a leader. You can say what you want to say, but I see a leader. You got to speak that to them and make them conform to what you're speaking so they can hear it. Yes. That overwhelm. No, we ain't going to overwhelm. Now, when they get rebellious and grown and want to do what they want to do, ain't nothing you can do about that. And nothing you can do. You can't do nothing about that. You got to let the Lord deal with them and trust that the God is going to take them through their devil, that devil hockey stick, and they're gonna end right back. They're gonna end up where they intended to be. They're gonna end up where they intended to be. Because we all went through our stuff. We all went through our stuff. That's part of life. And the quicker we can accept that, the better off we'll be. We'll leave them kids alone, them adult children who are not doing what you want them to do. Who are not doing what you want them to do. Things are not looking like how you want them to look. When you let go of that and you say, Lord, you have your way with that child. You have your way. You do as you will. You do what you promise. Because God promised some of y'all things about your children. But they're not walking into the promise. It don't look like it. It don't supposed to look like it. Because if it looked like it, you would know that it's God. But no, it can't. It don't have to look like it. He don't want it to look like it. Because then now, it don't look like it now. People are seeing it doesn't look like the promise you said and you told people. That's why it's good to be quiet sometimes. It don't look like the promise you said. But God's still doing his work. God's still doing his work. You got to sit down somewhere. You let God deal with you while he's dealing with that adult child of yours. But as far as them younger ones that's in your home that you got control over, that that you're, I'm gonna say control, that you're guarding, being the guardian over. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Gloria. You got to, you know what? You got to speak over them children because the enemy is after them too. The enemy is after them too, and using these kids. These kids are bold nowadays. They bold. They're gonna say what they want, and got logic to back it up too. These kids are not like we were. We were green, which means we didn't know anything. We didn't know what these kids know now. Thank you, Dominique. We didn't know what these kids know now. Now these kids gonna have a rebuttal for you. They're gonna come back with some stuff that makes sense. And your little, because I said so, ain't gonna be working in this time. Look, that little I said so is not going to be working. So you got to fall on them knees. You got to speak. So you know what, I bind that spirit. You know what, I come against that spirit of rebellion in the name of Jesus. And like these kids, they got sense. They got sense. So you got to ask God to give you another strategy to parent. Because that old school way of parenting is not working. How we were raised is not working for this new generation. I feel sorry for us parents nowadays. I feel sorry. Because the strategies how we were brought up, they are not working. I don't care what nobody says. Your way is not working. Yes, they bold. These kids are bold. They bold. They vocal and outspoken. My battery's about to go dead, but I'm gonna say finish up. They bold. They vocal and outspoken. They got logic. They wise. These kids got wisdom. So you need to get you some new wisdom and new parenting strategies. And the only way you're gonna get that is you got to team up with the Lord. You got to ask Lord, give me the wisdom to parent my own child. Mother and father, yes, give me the wisdom, Lord. Give me the wisdom to get through to them. Give me understanding. Because these kids different. Oh, yeah, they different. They come out different. This is a new era of children. And they watching we used to watch our parents do stuff, and we never questioned it. So you got to be walking where you say you believe. Whatever you want your child to do, you need to be doing it to that child. If you want your child to apologize for the things they're doing You're going to have to do that to them too, to be an example. Yes, it is too, Gloria. It is. It is, and that's what this system wants. This system don't want any discipline. They want these kids to be running wild. No order, no discipline, no fear, no respect for authority. That's what they want. That's what they want. So they can have control. But no, I believe in God. I believe God could give us new strategies, and He will, if we ask to be able to manage and parent these children in this new generation. The parent, because they're wise. They're not like how we were coming up. They're not how like we were. We knew not to say certain things. Yes, make it yes, Jr. Oh yes, honey. We knew not to say certain things. These kids, they have no filter. They gonna say whatever comes to mind. Yes, yes. And see, what he want to do is, what the enemy is doing. He want these kids to have no discipline and no order, so he can take them out of this, take their life, so he can just wipe them clean off the face of the earth. That's what he wants. He wants these children destiny. He wants these children promise, because most of these children are promised children. They're chosen. But if he could inflict them early, if he can put hell in them early and have them rebellious and don't know how to respect authority, he can just take them on off the face of this earth. He can wipe them clean off the face of the earth, and they won't be able to live out their purpose. They won't be able to reach the next generation. God will have to raise up someone else. He's after these children's destinies and purpose, especially the ones that are going to, you know, turn the world upside down for God. He want them kind. The ones out there thugging and clubbing and partying and game banging and doing things. Them the ones that are chosen. Them the ones that are chosen. They're just lost. The enemy has gotten to them so early. Yes, he want these kids because that same aggression. Just think about that same aggression and that same hate, same, fearlessness and boldness these children have now that are committing these crime and atrocities and different things. Just imagine if they were like that for God. Just imagine if they had that same boldness, same fight, same tenacity, same everything for the kingdom. Oh, it'd be all H-E-double-L. What is it? H-E-double hockey stick breaking loose. If them kids had that same fire and fear for the kingdom of God like they do for the enemy. Oh, it'd be. That's why the enemy's after these children. That's why he's after them. Because if they wake up and get that same love and passion for the kingdom, oh, this world will be a different world. It'll be a different world. It really would. It'll be different. It really would be different. He wants these children boldness to be working for him. He wants that boldness for his evil deeds. Yes, yes. He wants these children, and a lot of these kids, unfortunately, social media is as wicked as it is good. Unfortunately, because see, social media is a way to put yourself on a pedestal to make it seem like you're doing more than what you're supposed to be doing, or doing more than what you are. And these kids who don't have no discipline and no upbringing, they run to social media to get validation because they don't have validation from their family, their fathers, their mothers. So they run into social media for validation. And they're going to do things to get that validation. That don't make sense. Yes, Gloria, too many distractions. Yes. And unfortunately, we're not in the same world. That's why I say we got to pray and ask God for different strategy. Ask Him for a different strategy. Because this thing that I got in my hand right now, the enemy is using this to attack these children. I'm looking at you all on a phone right now. Kids got access to sexually impure stuff. They got access. You know what that's going to do to them? They got access to view porn, all kind of nasty stuff, and they can hold it in their hand. And you know what that's going to do to their mind? You know how that's going to affect them spiritually? That's another fight you're going to have to fight. That's why I said we got to pray ask God for a strategy. You trying to protect your child. They go to school, and the school is trying to protect them and let them do what they want to do. We got to fight as parents. It's a bigger fight on our hands. It's a bigger fight on our hands. And I don't care how much you think you just raising these awesome children. I don't care how you think you're doing as a parent. With this thing in my hand right now, if your child has one, you need to be praying. With what I got in my hand talking to you, if your child has one, you need to be praying and asking God to give you a strategy to fight this new way of parenting. I mean, to get a strategy. I mean, get a new strategy to parent without being like you're overprotective, without, appearing to be a cuckoo, lunatic parent. You're going to have to ask him. If your child has a device, like I'm talking on, I don't care what it is, iPod, iPad, phone, computer, whatever it is, them kids got access to stuff that we never had access to easily. They have access to it right away. Instant access to naked pictures, breast, butt, thighs, girls, body parts. Got access to it immediately. That's too much too soon. It's dangerous. We are fighting as parents. We are fighting against some. We're fighting against some dangerous times and spirits. We're fighting against this stuff. And the only way you're gonna be, you're gonna have to ask God to give you a strategy. That's all I can tell you. I don't know no other way. I don't know no other way. I know some parents just lay down and they give in to it. They give in to, helping their children. Yes, they give in to helping their children with their addictions to, substance abuse. They give in to it. They go get it for them because they say they don't want their kids doing things or going to get it from strangers. They'll rather give it to them and support their child's habit. And I'm not judging anyone because as a parent, I know how hard it is. I wouldn't dare put my mouth on nobody and how they decide to parent. But what I do know, you're gonna need God. You're gonna need God to give you a strategy. You're gonna need God to help you if you're trying to do it the godly way and not the world's way. And I'm not talking about the religious way, because we all know religion ain't working for folks. Religion ain't working for people. I'm talking about the godly way, some principles that's gonna come from the kingdom. Yes. But I wanted to come talk to you all. My phone is about to go dead, but I want to come let you know. Don't sit there and bow down to your emotions. Don't bow down to overwhelm. Don't bow down to your emotions. You have to talk to that emotion. See, if the enemy can keep you quiet, keep you silent, keep you mad, and then you're in pain and emotions, if he can keep you there, that's where he'll want you to be. He'll want you to stay there. Hi, Tarini. Hi, Tanya. He'll want you to stay there. Oh, it is, Gloria. You know that a lot of that music is not. We got to call it what it is. It ain't of God. It's more worldly than anything. Whatever I listen to, if it don't make me, if it convicts my spirit, because I listen to all kind of music. I listen to some gospel Christian rap. Some people are against that type of stuff, but I listen to the word. I listen to the. Oh yeah, Tanya, it is. Oh yes, honey, I see it. I see it. I'm even thinking about homeschooling mine next year. That's been on my spirit to homeschool mine, the last one. Yes, it really is. I can see it. Very wicked. Teaching these kids to be rebellious, to accept anything, teaching them don't have no belief system, that everyone is just accepted and it's supposed to be, but you still can have your beliefs. You let people believe what they believe, but you don't fold on what you believe. This system is, yes, they are. The curriculum is teaching you to tolerate acceptance. And if you accept anything, you don't have no belief. You don't have no belief if you accept anything. If you accept anything, that means that you believe whatever they believe. I'm sure thinking about it, Tanya. And he's like, no, I don't want to be with my friends. I'm like, it ain't about your friends. I'm saying it's not about your friends. It's about what I see. It's about what the Lord is putting on my heart. And that's another thing. We can't let these children dictate. That's what this system is teaching. You can't let these children make decisions for you of what you think is going to be best for them. When they get grown, they can do what they want to do. But when they're young, that's your job. Your job as a parent is to do what you feel is best, regardless of what other people think. Back in the days, they used to say the homeschooling parents were cuckoo and controlling and this, that, and the other. I remember that. As a child, I remember. No, them people were smart. They were smart. If I would have knew what I know, if I would have knew what I know now, I would have homeschooled all of mine. Instead of sending them to the school, and the school get more control, and you giving these people your baby's mind to impress upon, to put their thoughts and their beliefs and what they believe into your child's mind. If I would have known that and not follow, the masses and what they say you're supposed to do, oh, I would have homeschooled mine. I sure would have. I sure would have. Because you got people that don't believe in what you believe, and you sending your child to a teacher that you trusting, but you don't know if that's a witch or not. That's teaching your child. You don't know what they believe in, and they putting these little seeds in your child's mind and your child's brain at that young age is like a sponge. They take up everything, and they spend more time in school with you. Oh no, I thought about that. That's the most craziest thing. But my battery's going dead. I gotta go. Oh Lord. Oh wow, Tanya. That's dangerous and scary. But I gotta go. My battery's going dead. I don't want it to cut off on me. But hopefully we can continue this conversation later. Y'all be blessed. Speak to those things. Don't sit down and bow down. Do not bow down to your emotions. You got control over your emotions. You tell your emotions what to do. They don't tell you what to do. You tell them what to do. Okay?